It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and MWO. And it is time for Report Card, y'all. It's our segment where we are going to grade everything AEW for the week of July 19, 2025. We'll pick a couple each and give an honest, fair grade, A through F. Ryan, are you excited? Are you ready?
I am. It's been a good week of AEW. They brought it on Collision. They brought it on Dynamite. All In was a success. So let's get this party started, man.
Hit that music, bruh.
Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and the attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
Yeah, so we're going to do report card. It could be things from this week of AEW or things that have been brewing over time in AEW. But are you ready, Ryan?
I am ready. And
all right.
Let's do this
first, as always. Let's hear it.
All right, let's start at the top of it. And you give me a grade for the Hangman Page Redemption Tour arc.
That's so funny because I had one just like that, but here it is. All right, I'm going to be ballsy, and I'm going to say A+. I have nothing but loved Hangman's Redemption Tour. I loved the build-up to it. I love Hangman winning. I love the feel of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and that whole vibe. I love when he opened up the briefcase finally and boom, it was the belt and he had tears in his eyes. I loved his promo after that. I love the fact that they're going to rematch on Dynamite next week. I have loved every single second of it. And I was one of the most haters of Hangman's first run. I thought it was trash. I thought it was one of the worst ones. I just didn't think he was ready. He is now more than ready, and he is ready to be the face of AEW. I think he's going to be that dude. And I think it'll show with AEW moving forward and the build that they have. So yeah, I'm all for it. I thought that this has been, I couldn't look at this build and say, I would have done this better. I would have done that better. Maybe the Texas Death Match, they should have, but I think they're making up for that next week on Dynamite. So, and people loved it. So there's nothing. And if there's nothing to fix, A+, bro.
Yeah, no, I think it was one of the best stories AEW's ever told between that and Mariah May, Tony Storm, and the Hollywood ending there and all that stuff. So A+ for sure. Fantastic story, fantastic conclusion to a great story. And hopefully the story continues with Hangman Page, because he's righted a lot of wrongs, but he's still wronged a lot of people. So everyone can't forgive him on this tour. And I'm curious to see what this means for him and Darby Allin, for example, and him and Bryan Danielson, for example, moving forward, and him and several other people. And I'm ready to see him versus MJF again, because he doesn't seem to care about the Hangman Page Redemption Tour, because he wants what's his, which is the Triple B. So I like all of this. I like the direction that AEW is going in with their stories.
All right. Are you ready? I have one similar. You ready?
Yeah, go for it. Yes, sir.
All right. I want you to give me a grade on Jon Moxley's last title run.
Man, that's okay. I'm going to get some hate for this because I know people disliked his championship reign.
Wild.
In a big way. But I'm actually going to give it a B+. I think it was really, really good. Jon Moxley was at his best. He cut some of the best promos that he's ever cut in his career. He looked the best. He had the physique of a champion. He carried himself very well. I like the fact that, he put the briefcase title in a briefcase, and until somebody was deemed worthy, he didn't show it off. I like the little nuances that they did where he never changed the side plates after beating Bryan Danielson for it, and that's when Hangman Page beat him. When Hangman Page beat him, he opened the briefcase, and there it is. There's Bryan Danielson's title in there, which was just added little nuances there. But this, people sleep on this, how great this title run was. Was Darby Allin a main event player before this Jon Moxley title run? No. I mean, he was in tag teams with Sting. He was in TNT championship matches. He was a guy, but he wasn't the guy. And now he is the guy in AEW with Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page, you could argue, wasn't really a main event player before the John Moxley story took off. You look at other people, Orange Cassidy, who had to change a little bit of his character and a little bit of his gimmick to get even with John Moxley. He started wearing darker pants and darker clothes, and people, when he comes back from his injury, people are going to pop loud for him. So this story actually accomplished quite a bit. What it set out to, which was AEW was getting complacent, and it was. AEW was, drowning in the ratings, and they were, because people were getting too comfortable, which they exactly were. And AEW's had some of its best storytelling under John Moxley. They've had some of the best ratings under John Moxley. They've had some of the best crowd involvement with John Moxley as champion. And they had some of the best characters move up the ranks with John Moxley as champion. So I'm going to give it a B+. It wasn't perfect. I think it started off with, going in one direction, and then something with the Shane McMahon stuff, and that didn't work out. And so they had to pivot and change course, and, got a little awkward there. The Cope match kind of was deflating a little bit. But everything else I thought was fantastic.
I don't know. I'm going to say an A, brother. I loved it. I think this is truly John Moxley's best run ever in his career. I really mean that. I loved everything about the Death Riders. I did since day one. I think the build, everything he's done. I think his promos got better. His physique got better. I think his matches got better. And up until the Texas Death Match, he was starting to stop relying on bleeding. He was just having straight up matches. I enjoyed him in Cope at Revolution. We were there live. I didn't hate it. I really, really like John Moxley. I think this is him. And like I said, I have a forecast of what I think should happen to him moving forward, but I loved it, man. I think there was times where he was cutting promos and stuff where I was like, dude, this guy is like too good. Like, we have other people, Hangman and Swerve, and they're cutting good promos. And then I listened to Mox cut a promo and I'm like, damn, dude, like it's like Roman. You don't have to sit here and diss that and diss this, just your aura. Once you get that aura and once you're that guy, everything you say means something. And Mox is at that level now. And I loved it. Even this past week, talked for 3 minutes and everything he said meant something. I felt it. Felt every second of it. So
I love it.
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
And I think before AEW, like when Hangman Page first had the title, I think they were booking on the fly. It felt like, okay, like we're going to, how about you versus CM Punk for the title? Great. Sounds like a plan. How about you versus Lance Archer for the championship? Great, boss. Let's do it. Like, it was just, they had no story, no direction. It feels like everything about this story with John Moxley was planned out from the very beginning. They had a beginning time. They had a middle time. They had an ending date, and it all worked out beautifully. So I thought it was great. See what happens when you actually plan a story from start to finish. You get great results.
Weird. All right. What's your last report card you got for me? I'll grade it.
Let's go with Cope's feud versus FTR so far.
Oh, man. Oh, that's tough. So far, I'm going to say C. And that's no diss on FTR and Cope, but like I said, I don't like what I liked at first. I liked it because I thought, okay, we're going to get Christian into the fold. And I was excited for that. And I'm excited to see Christian and Cope back together again and tag teaming. But that kind of got thrown away. And now we have a babyface going out there and hiring hitmen to beat up on FTR instead of figuring out babyface ways to get around it. I haven't really enjoyed it. And unless we start hinting soon on him getting attacked, we're just going to have FTR versus Cope at Forbidden Door 2-on-1. Like, I don't see the reason why he's feuding with them. I get it because they injured him, but he needs somebody. We don't even have like a hint at anybody. Even if you're going to secretly bring in somebody from the ops or something to back them up or whatever, then they get beat up. And then it's like, I need someone to save the day. I have a match next week. And then boom, Christian, and he saves the day. I'm for that, but we're not even doing that. It just looks like some dude, babyface, who's too busy to not figure out a way, and he's hiring people to beat them up. It looks like this feud is more for Hurt Syndicate versus FTR in this tag team tournament than it is for Cope and FTR. I'm going to go C, and I think that's generous.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more generous. I'm going to say a B-. Because FTR, their heel turn has been fantastic, and it all started when they turned on Cope, and they have been great. And even Cope, his promo last week was good. The attack on Stokely was great. Even his return at All In made sense. It was great. The thing this week kind of took it down a notch with the Hurt Syndicate and hiring them. But hopefully this is just a different tactic, and to where he can finally put his hands on FTR, or maybe he gets another tag team partner. Maybe Daniel Garcia comes and helps them or something. And because I don't think Christian Cage is coming back until All Out, which is in Canada. So I think that or he's going to come back at Forbidden Door, and they're going to announce the Copeland Cage versus the Hurt Syndicate at All Out for the tag team championship. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but I give it a B-. I've been invested, and that's all I want. I want to be invested in the story.
All right, I'll give you that.
When Christian comes back, it's going to go A+. I guarantee you.
Oh, that's what I said right now. I think it'll get there, but I just don't think they're getting there in the right momentum right now.
Yeah, it's strange, right?
It is. All right, last one, and you got to be honest. I want you to grade Ricochet since he has joined All Elite Wrestling.
I'm going to go C+, and I feel like I'm being generous there.
You say C+?
C+, yeah. I'm going to go C+. I'm being very, very generous. He's had some... I don't personally see the allure with Ricochet, just like I don't see it with Kyle Fletcher. I don't see it with Ricochet either. But the crowd seems to buy into him, so he's doing something right. He gets the heat. They boo him every time they see him. He's all over social media. He's defending AEW left and right on social media. He just feels like in WWE, he feels directionless at the moment. He's trying to find a faction. He's trying to find a home. He's had great matches with Swerve. He's had great moments with so many other wrestlers, and he's had great matches. I'm not taking that away from him. He's fantastic at what he does.
For sure.
It's just his character, his gimmick. There's a lot left to be desired. But for whatever reason, he gets a reaction from the people. And I think that's what matters, how do they react? And you don't want them quiet. You want them booing or cheering, and they seem to boo. So he's doing something right that appeases the sickos out there, but I just don't see it.
I mean, everybody gets cheered in AEW or gets some kind of reaction. I'm going to give it a D+. I think it's been mediocre at best. I think it's proven to him that he's showing us why WWE didn't believe in him and didn't let him cut mics. I mean, he basically says basic ass shit. The crowd doesn't react to his anymore. They're not doing it. They're not cheering when he does it on every promo. And I don't even think it's that. That's all he really does. He's trying to live off that. He can't even come up with a real cool catchphrase. You know what I mean? He just does a stupid laugh. And now who he's teamed up with now, like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Is this his crew now? It seems like Tony Khan believed in him and was giving him kind of a rub, and now they're like, well, shoot, I paid you a ton of money, so I need to keep you on the screen until we get like Orange Cassidy and stuff back. So I don't know, just do something, because he's not in any contention anymore. He doesn't seem like a big-time player, which he thought he was going to be, because he left AEW because he was going to fight for titles and feud with Swerve and this and that. And what is he doing now? So yeah, exactly. I say D+. I think it's been laughable. And it's nothing against his character in real life, just him in general. And I mean, some people got it, some people don't. The problem with him is that everything he does, people in the organization do better. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't Will Ospreay. Yeah. So all his flippity-doo-dahs don't seem that big. Yeah. No, thank you. And he stood out in WWE because he was one of the few people who was doing the flippity-doo-dahs. So, yep. Yeah. All right. Oh, you got something? Let's hear it.
No, I'm good.
Oh, you're good? All right.
Nothing to add.
Well, that's it. So that's it for the week of July 19, 2025 for AEW Report Card, y'all. If you like this, please subscribe. Please comment. If you're listening, 5-star review, and also comment. Tell us what you love about the two dudes. And as always, if you want to catch me on all social media, it's at my_wrestling_opinion, where I talk all things WWE and AEW and give some wild theories for your, love. And with me, as always, is
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go follow me on all the social media platforms. Go follow us on X at 2DudesPC. We're on Instagram at 2 Dudes with Attitudes Podcast. We're on YouTube at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. On TikTok at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. So go follow us on all of those platforms. And then if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, where we are in the top 10% of all listened to wrestling podcasts, keep on loving us. Keep on subscribing. Keep on following. Rate us a 5-star rating. And tell everyone about your favorite two dudes on the internet, and help us blow up, baby. Help us grow.
Let's go. Two Dudes Wolfpack. We out.
Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast, yeah. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all Lee. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on time to